coming out. What's up, beautiful bastards? We are live. It is 8:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That means only one thing, that Take 3 is alive with another episode of Late Night with Take 3. Episode number, I believe it's 45. We are talking about, of course, the main theme today is the greatest sandwiches ever. With my birthday being yesterday, I wanted to talk about some food, because food is my big passion. So I have an esteemed panel today, and one hitchhiker that we have to pick up a little bit later. But I want to introduce our panel today first. He is the producer behind the scenes. You can find him on Rankum on Sundays. Malcolm Godier. Malcolm, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Just really excited to be here and talk sandwiches, and along with the multitude of movie news that we actually got.
Yeah, we actually have a stacked week of movie news. Joining us as well today, fellow Canadian, fellow member of Take 3, great guy all around. You can find him on Saturdays with Rhyme and Reason with fellow Take 3 member Matthew Currency. Is Sandy Loverboy Robinson. Sandy, how we doing?
I am a lover boy. I am a lover. I'm not a fighter. I'm not here tonight to fight. I'm here to celebrate what yesterday was one of the greatest days in Canadian history, and that was Brooklyn Vale's birthday. Happy birthday, brother.
Thanks, man. Joining us as well today. He used to be my arch nemesis many leagues ago, but a great guy all around. You can find him on Multilux Entertainment with Around the League. Nico Swaviragoli. Nico, how are you doing, bud?
Yes, a less annoying member of the Multiplex Entertainment community is joining you this week. No offense to Coho, but no, I kid. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to talk sandwiches. This will be some interesting debates we'll be having, but hopefully I'll actually win something today.
Oh, and we finally picked up that hitchhiker that we met on the road, making his Late Night with Take 3 return after seems like what it feels been a century. Abe Flores. Abe, how are you doing today?
What was it, a century when Malcolm fucked me up?
Possibly.
Yeah, sure. I'm doing great. Thank you guys for having me. Sorry, I was.
All right. Oh, that's all right. And finally, he took one of my shows, and then he feels like he runs the whole league. The guy hates musicians. He hates Eastern Canadians. He is the Late Night with Take 3 mini speed round debate champion of the Worldwide Movie Games Network Association of America. Cody Newberry.
Bonesaw is ready. How's it going, guys? I'm really excited to be here. Sorry, everybody. I feel really bad for you all. I tried my best to get Brooklyn out of here. Somehow somebody let him back in, and that is quickly going to change after tonight's episode. But we're going to talk sandwiches, so obviously, like, the meatball marinara from Subway is probably the best sandwich ever, so we'll just go with that. Just kidding.
That's a hard no from me. But let's get
me too.
Yeah, let's get right. That's actually not even the best sandwich from Subway. The best sandwich from Subway is probably like the roast chicken. For me, roast chicken with like onions and spinach. But
Canadians and
we'll say
chicken. Good lord.
Because roast chicken is great. Anyways, we'll get to that later. I wanted to take this time because with fall, the first day of fall on Saturday. I wanted to go into sort of a fall preview of TVs, movies, and there are some big releases coming up. Of course, we have Venom coming in, and then we have Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet. I know there's a big trailer that dropped for that today. Some other big ones that I am instantly forgetting because I didn't prepare as much as I was supposed to. The House with the Clock in its Walls does drop tomorrow, which seems really interesting. Of course, you have all the Oscar Beatty stuff. But actually, I'll go to Abe first. Abe, I know that you're that you were recently on Gone with the Wind. On let's see, Manning's new show. But what are you most excited for this fall season?
Okay, for fall, I'm going to throw one that I don't think a lot of people are excited for, and it's Robert Zemeckis' newest movie with Steve Carell, starring the women of Marwen, I believe it's. Well, I'm so excited that I know its name. It's the women from Marwen that stars Leslie Mann, Isa Gonzalez, and a ton of other cast. I've seen the trailers, and I've been really loving it. And I'm a real fan of modern Robert Zemeckis films. Like I love Flight, I really like Allied, and I love The Walk too. So I'm really excited for that movie. It's coming out on Thanksgiving, I believe.
Now, American or Canadian Thanksgiving, those are two completely different dates.
American Thanksgiving.
See, that's the incorrect answer. Canadian Thanksgiving is best because you get it early in October. Speaking of Canadians, Sandy, what are you most excited for this fall season?
You know what? I'm going to bring up two movies that I'm really, really excited for. The first one is Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm absolutely jacked up for that movie. I think that Rami Malek is going to do a fantastic job as Freddie Mercury. We've all seen the trailers already. It already looks fantastic. And you already brought it up. I'm actually quite excited for Venom. I want to see what they do with it. I know a lot of people were annoyed with his voice on the trailers. I love the duality of the voice. I think it's really, really appropriate for the character of Venom. So I'm really interested to see what their version of Venom is going to be like, and whether or not they truly cross it over with the MCU. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Nico, what are some big anticipating things for you this fall season? Maybe I know you're a big wrestling and UFC fan. Are there any scheduled fights that I'm forgetting about, or any big wrestling matches down the road?
Well, since you bring it up, I believe next week is the long-awaited matchup between the former UFC featherweight and lightweight champion Conor McGregor and the current reigning undefeated UFC lightweight champion for the title, Khabib Nurmagomedov. Everyone's been waiting for it for the longest time. Everyone's been saying Conor hasn't beaten a true wrestler yet. And Khabib, with his Russian Sambo background, if Conor beats him, that shuts down any doubts anyone has left in him. The key question right now is Conor on a bunch of coke right now? Is he drinking too much? Because he seems to be a little off his rocker lately.
All right, Cody. I know you had your little hand raised there in excitement. What are some fall things you want to talk about?
McGregor versus Khabib. That is a highly anticipated fight. I think it's going to be a great one. I think Conor catches him with his left and knocks him the F out. But that's just because I like Conor McGregor, because I love a guy that talks as much as he does, but actually backs it up in the ring, or in the octagon. But movies, I am not a horror fan at all. I hate most horror movies, but the new Halloween has me so jacked, it's not even funny.
Nice.
I also am looking forward to Star is Born, because I love Bradley Cooper and I want to see his directing. And Wreck-It Ralph, and I couldn't agree more with Sandy, because apparently everybody in this community is a Queen fan as well. I am so excited for Bohemian Rhapsody. I cannot wait.
Malcolm, I know if you get to fall a little bit earlier, so can you tell us what is already going to be successful?
Well, I mean, our fall was so early that it's spring coming up here. So yeah, other side of the world, our fall is our season's pretty much flipped. So I mean, but yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody is what I'm really looking forward to. WWE 2K19 comes out in a couple of weeks, and as a big wrestling fan, I'm looking for that. We're getting the first complete ever women's pay-per-view coming up in October.
Yes.
And also in October as well, all the different Arrowverse shows start coming on back onto TV. So, and I'm really excited for the Arrowverse.
Some ones that I'm really surprised that I missed. A Star is Born. I know Jonathan and Kevin were mentioning that one. I remember seeing the trailer and I'm like, holy shit, that's going to be good.
Literally brought it up. Brought it up.
Sorry, I'm deaf in this ear. I can't really hear people on my left side.
Don't listen to me. It's okay.
I don't. Also, one I saw the poster for today. I didn't see the announcement teaser trailer, but Daredevil season 3 looks fucking unreal. I really hope they continue with that great the great couple seasons that they have. And then the one I'm actually excited for on Saturday actually appearing for I believe it's 400th season. Apples. No, it's Apple season. Apple season starts on Saturday. My favorite time of year.
Somebody get the hook. Somebody get the hook.
Oh man, you guys don't like apples at all, man. Like
Brooklyn, we need to have a meeting about your comedy after the show.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh,
love you too, guys.
Everyone's having meetings.
I just everybody's talking. I know. I try to make the show about like TV, movies, video games, but like Apple season for me is so exciting. Like this is where I get to do my big batches. Cody, you could, they say imitation is the greatest form of flattery. So the more you imitate me, the more you actually like really enjoy my time.
That was my hand puppets, not me. So do not take it as a compliment.
Okay, so enough with apples because you guys just hate apples. Anyways, let's get into.
I like apples.
Yeah,
I enjoy the taste of apples.
For me, it's because apples are so versatile and there are so many different varieties. Like Cortland's, Granny Smith's, Jonah Gold's. But like what I like to do, especially, and this is gonna bore Cody, but it might excite everybody else, is I actually like making preserves with apples. Apple butter is fucking unreal. It's like really good on crackers and then like apple pie sorbet. But enough about food because
one more food, Jeb. Cody's favorite apple is crab.
Oh, you are in timeout with Brooklyn because that was terrible.
All right, let's just move on to a much funnier game. We're going to play press conference. If you guys watched last week, we had Winston Marshall play the Colin Mockery-esque character. So what they would do on Who's On Us Anyway, where this game originated, Colin would go up to the podium and he announced this big press conference. But the big catch was he had no idea what he was announcing. So by random draw, and because I just felt it was interesting, Nico is actually going to be our holder of this press conference. So I want to reassure that Malcolm, Sandy, Cody, and Abe got the message that I sent them about 5 minutes before we went live, giving the character of what Nico is. Should have been in a new group.
Yep, I got it.
Okay, I know Malcolm and you guys all saw it. So we'll just ask questions until we ask like at least two, or Cody, or until Nico has it. So Cody, or not Nico, I'm sorry, Nico, call this press conference to order.
Okay, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I called y'all here today for this conference. We will start the floor with questions. Does anyone have anything they'd like to ask? You, sir. Yeah, the Canadian in the blanket.
Hi, Tim Brown. Tim Tebow Hourly. What did you do to prepare for such a daunting task?
Tons of squats, protein shakes, runs with my dog. Oh yeah, and tons of calf raises as well. Next question. You, sir, in the Boston memorabilia.
Hi, Cody from Stupid Apple Times. I got a question for you. Do you consider yourself basic after what you've just accomplished? Do you consider it a basic task or just a normal task?
I mean, I would like to believe that despite the task, I gave it 110%, and therefore I exceeded being basic, if that answers your question.
Nah, kind of.
Who's next? Who's next? You, sir.
Hi, my name is Mary from idovoices.com. I was wondering if would you do it again?
Providing it's legal, yes. Next question. Next question. You, sir, in the purple with the sweater.
Malcolm from Middle Earth Times here. Do you have any regrets?
I don't know if I'm gonna get this. Holding this press conference for one thing. Next question. Yes, back to you in the Boston.
I hear through a source of mine that you're not allowed back in Starbucks after this feat. How do you feel about that news?
They kept spelling my name wrong anyway on the cups, so screw them. They didn't give me the good service I deserved. Yes, blanket.
Yes. Can you even?
Yes.
Does Sandy have a question at all? I know he's been waiting patiently here for a question.
All right, this is Sandy from Snatched on the Run. The question I have is, how long after this happened did you spend in the bathroom? Reports that have come to me from unsubstantiated sources say at least 2 hours, but no longer than 5. So there's a little bit of space in there. We're looking for some confirmation here.
Long enough that they had to call quarantine. Did I get food poisoning at Starbucks?
No.
No.
Am I close?
No.
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 Abe.
Hi, this is Mary again for idovoices.com. Mr. Sandy asked about one end of your body. I was wondering about the other end. How's your throat?
This is what I love about Abe, is I draw a line in the sand and Abe just launches himself over. Awesome.
I'm like a family-friendly show. Did I have relations with someone in the bathroom of Starbucks?
Hell no. Hell no.
I don't think we're going to get this.
There's still 2 more questions to figure it out.
Purple shirt.
Have you tried any other flavors, or did you just choose this particular flavor?
Besides pumpkin spice? That mocha frap, I tried that. I'm hung up on the Starbucks.
All right, last question from Cody of the Bad Apple Times.
Well, he got to take mine. No, I don't got it. I don't have one on the spot right now.
All right, Nico.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. All right, Nico. Who do you think here?
I don't know. I'm getting so many mixed messages here.
So your character was that you broke the world record for most pumpkin spice lattes drank in 24 hours.
Yeah, basic.
Well, I have it listed here as drank in an hour.
Oh, drank in an hour? Oh, yeah. It was a certain amount of time.
As soon as you got the connection with pumpkin spice, I thought you were going to get it.
Yep.
I don't know.
I told Brooklyn that was a tough one, but
can't even basic bitch, you know.
Oh god!
I thought I had like food poisoning from something, and then Abe went, "Forget about your ass. How's your throat?" And I'm like, "Oh no, did I get raped at Starbucks?"
The views expressed by Nico's while we were going do not reflect the views and opinions of KP Productions. I want to put a waiver on that.
Like, hey, I have a question for you, you sick freak. Like, but he took the pumpkin spice thing I was going for. So,
yeah. What a time to be alive. All right, guys.
Oh.
So that actually
Sandy is left best. I'm sorry, buddy.
Well, Sandy is technically here in spirit. He just turned off his camp. But I think we'll cut this portion short because, by golly, do we ever have a big section of movie news to go through?
No.
Unfortunately, Kermit is on vacation. He is actually investigating Fozzie because Fozzie waka off an undercover cop in the bathroom. So,
are you playing the game at some point, or is that later?
We can play the game. Like shenanigans.
Movie news, you're 100% right. Huh?
Well, no. Let's actually. Well, we have time because we started late with this, so we'll do a round of shenanigans. Is everybody familiar with how shenanigans works?
Yes, I've played before.
No idea.
Okay, so what is going to happen is, and for the new people that are watching here, what's going to happen is I'll start and I will name either an actor, actress, or a movie. And what happens is if I name an actor, then the next person in line, so we'll say Malcolm, has to name a movie that actor or actress has appeared in.
Oh,
then
name from the other day.
Yeah. I guess Abe, you have been. Okay, Abe, you have been on. So the order is going to be myself, and then Cody, and then Sandy, and then Nico, and then Malcolm, and then Abe. So I will ask
to screw me.
Cody first. I'll give you a softball. I'll give you Jim Carrey.
So I name a movie. The Mask.
Okay, goes to Sandy.
Dumb and Dumber.
No, you have to name an actor from
The Mask?
The Mask. Yeah, actor or actress.
Cameron Diaz.
And it goes to Nico.
He was a bad teacher, right?
She was.
Yes.
And it goes to Malcolm.
Me. Justin Timberlake.
Trolls.
Say that one more time.
Trolls.
Anna Kendrick.
Yes.
Pitch Perfect 3.
Oh, is it my turn?
Sandy.
Sandy.
Sandy. I didn't want to do that to Sandy.
Frick.
Remember, you have shenanigans that you can use on Cody.
Yeah, I know. I'm just debating because I know it isn't Rebel Wilson.
Correct.
Yeah, Rebel Wilson is right.
Can I say Pitch Perfect 2?
You can say Pitch Perfect too.
You guys all suck.
Elizabeth Banks.
Oh, Pitch Perfect 1?
Elizabeth Banks.
It goes to Malcolm.
No, he said it is.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Second, Miri make a porno.
Seth Rogen.
Pineapple Express.
Me?
Yeah.
James Franco.
The Disaster Artist.
Question: once an actor or actress is named, you can't name them again. Is that correct?
You can't name them again.
Dave Franco.
There you go, Malcolm.
Neighbors.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Rose Byrne.
Ooh.
Get them to the Greek.
Crap.
Also, shout out to the cool guy for playing vlog. Has some really good choices.
And isn't what the hell? Russell Brand.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Ooh.
Jason Segel.
It was erased. That right?
Dave Segel? No.
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
Dave Segel was it already said?
Abe's out, isn't he?
No, I'm not.
Nope.
Not yet. Nobody's out.
Did he say World's End?
I didn't. No, I
No,
asked
I don't, he didn't say anything. He asked if it was already said.
Okay.
I love you, man.
Paul Rudd.
Role models.
Sean William Scott.
I want to make sure I get the title right. Oh no! Wait! Hold on. American Pie. I was gonna say something else, but then I switched it.
I'm throwing you up softballs here, Nico.
I don't remember that person's name, so I'm just going to say Jason Biggs.
Oh, that's right. I believe.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So can I say
You get Jason Biggs.
You could call shenanigans if you want.
Malcolm likes how? Well, Malcolm. I can say American Reunion.
Eugene Levy.
Oh, I'm trying to remember the guy. Hold on, give me a second. Eugene Levy's the dad, right?
Yeah, Levy is the dad.
Okay. Best in Show.
Oh, I'm tired of this bullshit. Shenanigans. Best in Show. Suck that.
What?
Shenanigans.
You don't think I know anything from Best in Show?
No, I'm impressed that you picked the one obscure Eugene Levy movie in the universe. Shenanigans.
Well, Fred Willard also stars in Best in Show, so.
So you're out.
Well, Sandy is out, so we now move on to Nico, and Nico starts fresh.
I just love saying shenanigans. It would have been a good call.
So can I say Fred Willard?
You can, yeah.
Fred Willard.
I'm going to call shenanigans.
Up.
Fuck.
Is he an up?
No, he's in
Is he
Wally.
an up?
Oh
I don't
shit!
think he's
I
an
said the
up.
wrong one. I said the wrong one.
Yeah, he's at Wally. He's the president of By and Large.
I said the wrong
I
one.
don't believe he's a dumb.
Well, that means Nico is eliminated.
My mind said one thing, my mouth said another thing. Damn it!
Malcolm can now start fresh.
I'm going to throw out a slightly softball. Ellen DeGeneres.
Ellen DeGeneres. We're gonna go for the entire Pixar franchise. Finding Nemo.
Willem Dafoe.
Oh, Spider-Man.
That goes to Malcolm.
Tobey Maguire.
The Great Gatsby.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh shit! What was he in? Oh, this is so tough. I'll do The Revenant.
Tom Hardy.
Inception.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, so you picked the Canadian, but you didn't. Oh well.
I don't remember her last name.
Dark Knight Rises.
Gary Oldman.
Let's go recent. The Darkest Hour.
Oh, it sucks because I have this DVD sitting at home. Is Ben Mendelsohn in that movie?
Yes.
He is.
Okay, yeah. So Ben Mendelsohn.
Rogue One: A Star Wars Story.
Felicity Jones. You're muted.
The Theory of Everything.
Eddie Redmayne.
Jupiter Ascending.
Oh.
Dirty.
10 bonus points for Cody for remembering that piece of garbage.
Ooh.
I had to hang up
Mila
the poster.
Kunis.
Mila Kunis.
Can you repeat it? No, sir.
Mila Kunis.
Nope, you're out of repeats.
You're still muted, Abe.
What?
I think he's
Nico,
got
or
someone on the phone as well.
Okay,
Abe was-
Mila Kunis, give me a second.
Abe was using his iPhone to phone in a friend.
Bad mom.
Oh.
He's looking at the chat.
Um,
Oh no, I'm not looking at the chat. I'm talking with my mom.
Mom's feeding the manager.
Christina Applegate.
That's right.
Oh, come on. Easy one.
Oh, I'll just do Bad Mom's Christmas. That's fine.
I'm going to call Shenanigans.
What? I can't name another one? Kristen Bell.
Oh,
Well, Malcolm is eliminated. So now Abe gets to start fresh.
let's go easy. The Big Lebowski.
All right. John Goodman.
Oh, brother, where art thou?
Yeah.
George Clooney.
Ocean's 11.
Oh, you give him the entire cast.
Pick the right one.
I know, that's my whole thing. Don Cheadle.
Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Sam Rockwell.
3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Do you want? Hey, where can I go? Well, let's go with Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
Avengers: Infinity War.
I want to
So
say
hard
this
to
in, okay, Tom Holland.
Captain America: Civil War.
Son of a...
Chadwick Boseman.
Well, I know what I can say, but I don't want to say it. 42.
Fuck. I'm gonna call Shenanigans, even though I know he knows one.
Oh, I know one.
Harrison Ford.
Nope.
Yeah, here's the manager. So now Abe is eliminated. And now it's Cody. Down to Cody and I get to start fresh.
Fucking figures.
Go figure, right?
What's that movie? I don't know.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Never seen it, but I know Michael Cera's in it, so Michael Cera.
All right, super bad.
Emma Stone.
La La Land.
Ryan Gosling.
I
hate
Drive.
that you get to just pull movies, and I have to think of actors. Bryan Cranston.
Trying to remember which one.
Oh, there's one that will crush them.
Oh, I know. I'm trying to think. There's a super obscure one. Kung Fu Panda 3.
Jack Black.
School of Rock.
Oh, no, that's a good one. Now you got to know the kids.
Joan Cusack.
16 Candles.
Yeah.
I hate everything about you right now.
Love you too.
Molly Ringwald.
Breakfast Club.
Come on, Cody. There's a good one.
No, that's wrong. I know everybody in that freaking movie, and I can't pull anyone. Give me a second. Damn it. I don't want to lose on Breakfast Club. That's the problem I have. Emilio Estevez.
Yeah, Emilio Estevez is correct.
Okay, I couldn't think if that was his correct name or not. I just had to pull it.
To a Canadian, using Emilio Estevez was just an easy answer for him.
The Mighty Ducks.
The first one?
Yes, the first one.
Now I gotta think of every effing kid in that movie.
God, I want back into this game so bad.
You can count me down. That's fine. I'm trying to think of the main guy, Charlie. Joshua Jackson.
There you go.
Joshua Jackson.
Oh man. He's fucking Pacey in Dawson's Creek. I'm trying to think of other films that he's in.
Oh my gosh! I lost all respect for you right there.
Shenanigans.
What?
Name a movie with Joshua Jackson in it that isn't.
You sure you want to do that? Fine. D2 The Mighty Ducks?
Fine. That's all right.
You literally had 2 outs and you gave it right to me.
I was like, yeah, it's fine. Anyways, Cody wins. I just got. If you call shenanigans on Mighty Ducks, then you win anyways. Because I was like, that's my one out here with Emilio Estevez.
Who had the Ocean's 11 one after you said Ocean's 11?
Cody did.
I said Don.
Andy Garcia would have.
Yeah, but then you say Ocean's 12. Then it opens right back up.
Or you can say Mamma Mia. Here we go again.
Bryan Cranston, a good Bryan Cranston one would have been Godzilla.
I thought Godzilla, but then that opens up Aaron Taylor Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen.
Remember,
the main thing was when we had Ocean's 11 one time, and I literally got it, and I said Andy Garcia, and it led down the path of.
There were 2 opportunities to say Saban's Power Rangers, and no one did.
I know Power Rangers would have been the nail in the coffin.
And Cody, the better one, the better one for you to pick from the Breakfast Club would have been Judd Nelson.
I know.
I wouldn't have gotten it.
Way harder.
And you probably in Brooklyn said School Walk, you could have said Miranda Cosgrove to that, because I don't know if she's been in a lot of movies.
Yeah,
she was like Carly.
I just figured John.
Yeah, but that's not a movie.
Not one of the people.
And then Joshua Jackson, one of the movies that he was in, and I'm surprised, Brooklyn, you don't know this because it's a Canadian film. It's called 1 Week.
No, I don't really.
1 week since you looked.
Who else was in it?
I can't remember who else is in it, but the plot of the movie is that he gets a diagnosis from the doctor that he's going to die. So he travels across Canada one last time. So.
Oh, cool. Does he travel to BEI?
I believe he hits every province. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So, fuck you, Cody. Fuck you and that Boston Red Sox piece of shit hat. All right. So, let's get into the movie news. And sweet mother of pearl, do we ever had a lot to do? So I am going to rhyme these off right quick. To the sadness of Nico, How to Train Your Dragon 3 is closing off the entire franchise, even its TV show on Netflix. We got some pictures of Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker and Brett Cullen cast as Thomas Wayne. We got trailers for Mary Poppins Returns, Captain Marvel, The Grinch, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Stan and Ollie. We have Patrick Stewart cast as a new boss in the Israelis Angels reboot. We have Bryan Singer in talks to direct the new Red Sonja remake, despite some heavy criticism for obvious reasons. Zack Snyder reveals that that the Atom was the character come from Justice League. Who fucking cares? Eddie Murphy cast in the Grumpy Old Men remake, which actually sounds pretty interesting. Ryan Coogler producing Space Jam 2 with Bron Bron. I think that's just a kind of a cash grab. The live-action Avatar series, which I know some panelists here are pretty passionate about. Michael B. Jordan is cast in a new Tom Clancy franchise, which could be interesting. Cary Fukunaga to direct the next Bond movie set to be released in 2020. Does that get Daniel Craig? I hope not. And what is normally my least favorite news of the day, but now I get to say it with enjoyment, is that Star Wars Slowdown is coming, according to Bob Iger. Thank God, because it got shoved down our throats. Cody, since you won, I'll let you go first. What is the big news that's set out for you this week?
So it's hard to narrow it down to one because I think there are some terrible choices on this thing, and I can't. So I'll just hint at the two. Space Jam 2 is a no, terrible idea. Space Jam 1's a terrible if you go and rewatch it. And Eddie Murphy should just get out of the thing because Grumpy Old Men is a classic and a beautiful comedy, and you're not old enough to even tap into that. But the one that I want to talk about that I'm really shocked about, that I'm not okay with whatever, and that is Bryan Singer in talks to direct Red Sonja. I don't care what the movie is. I don't care what it is. How can Hollywood, in the right state of mind, bring the guy back? Like, if you open the door here, that opens the door for Spacey, that opens the door for Weinstein, that opens the door that was just shut. So I'm confused by it. I don't get, even if there are other directors out there that, one, that haven't given a shot, and two, that deserve that shot. So let them have it. I'm just confused. I would like to hear what everybody else would think about that one, but that's a confusing one for me.
Technically, Spacey still is a working actor. The last movie that he was in opened to a grand weekend of $126. But Nico, what is the big news that's set up for you this week? I imagine that you're pretty passionate about Avatar.
Well, first let's touch on my namesake here, and that is How to Train Your Dragon. I kind of saw this coming. Race to the Edge on Netflix, season 6 was the show's last season. So I had a feeling that movie number 3, which is coming out next year, would be the conclusion. And you know what? I'm okay with it, simply because, the saying is all good things must come to an end at some point. And the way this franchise has been handled from start to now nearing the finish is probably some of the most intelligent production a studio has done. This is a franchise that has grown with its audience over time. You've matured with these characters. You've grown to love them in unique ways as they've also grown. I'm happy that I got to go on this journey with this franchise, with all these characters. And this might be the end, but they'll still live on in our hearts, in our imaginations, and in the name of my faction, and through me. Although my faction probably doesn't want me speaking for them right now after that terrible showing I had with press conferences earlier. But that's neither here nor there. Aside from that, Avatar, yes. Here's what I like about Avatar in this news story here, and that's that they're going with the original creators. So they are bringing in the people who knew how to make the show work as a cartoon, knew how to make Legend of Korra work as a cartoon as well, and now they're going to try with live action. They're getting a big budget so they can handle the effects well. And I think, I think we're going to learn from the mistakes and there were a lot of them made by M. Night Shyamalan, and we're going to get a high quality series that will not only retell what we saw in the cartoon, but might also expand on it.
Yeah. Let's go to Sandy next. Sandy, I know that you have been you're a passionate Star Wars fan, so I'm kind of curious to hear your opinion on the Star Wars slowdown. Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing for the franchise as a whole?
It's good. Hands down, not even a question in my mind. And this is coming from somebody who just finally watched Solo and actually really enjoyed it. I'm not saying it was a great movie and that there wasn't like flaws in it. But it was a pretty decent heist movie. It was what I wanted to see out of it. It was entertaining. I was riveted the whole time. But Star Wars needs to step back a little bit, and they need to reevaluate which direction they want to go in. But I mean, that all depends on what happens with Episode 9. If Episode 9 rights the ship, then you know that's who knows what's going to happen. I think Star Wars. I think Disney and Star Wars and Kathleen Kennedy, I think they're being incredibly reactive to this. And, you know, so Solo didn't do as well as they expected. Over the last two movies that they released, I think both movies grossed over $2 billion. So, not too bad a day at the end of the week, right? So, but I think that it's better for Star Wars, better for the stories, if they slow it down and give us a bit of a break first, and then maybe in 5 years come back with something. The other couple of things that I wanted to just touch on in the news. I don't care who the director is; it makes zero difference to me. But Red Sonja. It was bad when it was released, and I was a fan because I love Schwarzenegger and I love the Sword and Sandals movies. I think that they're awesome. I'm a huge Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer fan here. But it was a Bridget Nielsen vehicle, because she was going to be a big star. And it just wasn't a very good movie. So why they're remaking it, as much as I would like to see them do an updated. We saw what happened with Jason Momoa and Conan the Barbarian, the remake, which was bad. And then the last thing I'll say is, and I'm not even gonna hound on this very long. The Captain Marvel trailer is absolutely awesome. I've watched it about 150 times. It is going to do exactly what Black Panther did for Infinity War this year. Malcolm and I have already talked about it. It's going to set us up perfectly so we walk into the next Avengers movie that's coming out a few months after that. And it's literally going to be. I think it's going to be in my top 5 Marvel movies of all time. I just know it. So I'm super stoked for that movie, and that trailer is awesome. Cannot wait to see what the real big trailer is going to look like.
Yeah. Malcolm, what is the news that stood up here this week? Once again, and for those of you who don't know, Malcolm gathers up all of my movie news, so I do need I need to give him a round of applause because he makes my job so much easier. So Malcolm, thank you for being a scholar and a gentleman, as you always are. But what is as you were gathering news, what was the ones that popped out for you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like all the mini trailers, like are great. It's like Mary Poppins seeing all that magic come back out, and the fact that Emily Blunt just feels like a completely new version of Julie Andrews, but yet the mannerism she does is just similar to what Julie Andrews did. So I mean, seeing that trailer, and I mean, I've been waiting for a longer trailer for ages. One thing I actually did forget is that at the Emmys, the person who directed the Oscar this year proposed to his girlfriend on stage as well, which was amazing because apparently, from what other people were saying, normally when he accepts these awards, he's also producing the Emmys, directing the Emmys as well. So he normally does it from hidden out the back, but this time he was actually on stage and brought his wife up. It was just one of those moments that you just see. It's like, oh. But also, you just hope with these big proposals that they don't break up a couple of weeks later, as what happened with John Cena and Nikki Bella. But then apparently they're back together. So yeah,
look at the on again, off again switch. Abe, you've been sitting very patiently. What news stood out for you this week?
Your mic's off.
Well, I want to talk about the Captain Marvel trailer, which we discussed a little bit in Gone with the Wind if you want to watch it. Every Wednesday on Take 3. Shameless plug. But I wasn't surprised by the trailer at all. I know I didn't like it that much because I haven't seen it on a big TV. Like, I just knew today, like, it came out on Tuesday, and for a Marvel trailer, for me not seeing it, like, on big screen, like, I mean on my computer in comparison with my phone, it says something. There weren't any shots on the trailer that wowed me. The thing that I took away was that she had the helmet, and it looked great. And when she punches the grandma, it looks really funny. But other than that, it didn't surprise me. I'm still excited for the movie. It's Brie Larson and a Marvel movie. Another. Yeah, I punch my grandma every Friday, actually.
The views expressed by Abe Flores do not condone the views of Take 3 and its likeness. So
I'm gonna talk to Kristen Smith right after this.
I don't care.
Cody, why were you changing the locks on my door? We need to change the locks on Abe's. He is physically abusive towards family members, and that is not okay.
Everybody deserves a second chance.
Not my grandma.
And we're canceled for condoning domestic violence. I do apologize if that did offend anybody. We obviously don't mean this sort of thing. But let's get Cody, why are you punching your hand?
I'm just practicing my punches.
Oh yeah,
for you in person, I punch you in the face.
Oh yeah, all right, cool. Please, this cheek here, this one here is actually pretty sore from the other meeting that I got. So, let's now move into my favorite topic. Usually with these pop culture topics, I pick like what's best, what's topical. If I have certain panelists on what they want to talk about, but I'm like, you know what, I want one for me. And for those of you who know me, my biggest passion in the world is food. I am a cook and I'm a chef, and my favorite thing is sandwiches. Sandwiches are life. Cody, what are your sock puppets saying? I'm actually kind of curious to hear this conversation that you're having with sock puppets.
Can you please tell them to shut the heck up? I don't want to hear them talk about sandwiches anymore. I know, it's really annoying.
All right, so
Brooklyn. Oh shit!
We've got off the rails. We're off the rails.
We got off the rail the minute I brought Cody on stream. All right, so some of my favorite sandwiches for sure. Actually, I think I'll refresh my top 5. But Cody, since you hate sandwiches so much, tell us your least favorite sandwiches and why they're awful.
Oh, least favorite, tuna anything I feel is awful. Maybe like fresh tuna, but like when the can opens and people make it, like it literally makes me want to gag. I think it's the grossest thing ever. Anything with pickles on it. I hate pickles with a passion. I think they're the worst condiment on the history of the universe.
You know that you can choose not to put pickles on shit, right?
True, right. But
You and
the people that
are
make
also now mortal enemies.
the people that make low income, and you go through and you're like, hey, no pickles, and then they're like, F you, don't really care, here's extra pickles, and they load it up, and then you take a bite of your sandwich trusting that they did their job, and then you take a bite and you get a bunch of pickles, and then you go into the thing and you punch them in the face. That's what happens.
Take Three does not recommend or condone any violence against fast food employees whatsoever, depending no matter what.
We are a hard-working people. As a former employee of Wendy's and Tim Hortons for almost 5 years.
You have Wendy's?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, well, it's kind of a side story. In the one that I worked at, there was like Wendy's in the we had Wendy's and Tim's in the same building. We had like a little mini Tim Hortons. So I started at Tim's and worked at Wendy's. Yes, it's pretty fun.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, Nico, I know you were a resident of Pittsburgh. I know Pittsburgh has become a bit of a food scene down in the States. What are some of your favorite sandwiches?
This is going to sound gnarly coming from a Pittsburgh guy, but I'm not that big on permanis. I know it's kind of like considered I'm probably going to get thrown out of Pittsburgh for saying this on public record. But you know, the sandwiches are just all right, and the French fries there not that great. I've had better. For me, I'll just go for like the basics. What I like on a sandwich is I enjoy roast beef, I enjoy cheddar, I enjoy dill pickles. If there's ham on there and if there's turkey on there, I'll also eat it. But my preferences are roast beef, cheddar, and dill pickles. What I don't like is salami. I'm not that big on salami.
Okay. I was not the biggest fan of salami until I went because there's two kinds of salami. There's shitty salami, and then there's dry cured salami, which is known as salami Genoa. It is actually like a dry cured process, and they have like bigger chunks of fat in this. It's really tasty. But yeah, Malcolm, you're the person here who lives the farthest away. What are the big sandwiches down in New Zealand?
I actually don't like Vegemite, and that's Australian. We have Marmite in New Zealand, but it's pretty much the same thing. I don't eat either. But for me, I like the simple peanut butter and jelly. I actually do like the meatball subs. Are we counting burgers as sandwiches as well?
Oh yeah, we're counting anything, burgers.
Yeah. We've got a really great burger place here called Velvet Burger, which it's like a big gourmet burger place that is just so good. They cook the patties like on site, not like the pre-cooked stuff that you get from McDonald's. But yeah, and I actually had a sandwich yesterday that I didn't realize until I had it that I liked, and it's a croque monsieur, which is pretty much a ham and cheese, but you've got cheese on top as well. So, and I just really liked it.
There should have been egg on there as well, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Abe, as the other foreign exchange student here, what are?
I can talk. Okay, you don't need to introduce me. Look, man, I love sandwich. I eat a ton of bread. When I'm hungry at home, I just get some bologna, American cheese, mayo, and put it on the whitest bread you can ever see. And I think that's amazing. And I drink it with a Coke. But there's something in Mexico called, I don't know if you guys know what chilaquiles. Do you guys know what chilaquiles is?
No.
No, you have no idea. They're fried tortillas in salsa, like corn tortillas in salsa. And there's something called a torta of chilaquil, which is a sour bread with oh my god, I'm salivating right now. With beans, you put a piece of chicken breast, like flat chicken breast, covered in breadcrumbs, fried. Then you put the corn tortilla, the chilaquiles, which I just described, which are tortillas with salsa. You put some sour cream, you put some avocado, and you put another piece of bread, and it's the greatest thing you can ever see and taste.
That does
And
sound.
and if you want it for breakfast, you put 2 eggs.
Nice.
Cool. I must have said Cuban sandwiches.
Cuban sandwiches,
fantastic.
They are great, but they are not the best sandwich.
Get the hell out of here, Brooklyn.
I have debated that before, and I will debate it again. That smoked meat is the best sandwich. It is better than a Cuban. I will argue that for hours. Sandy, as the fellow Canadian on the other coast, or not quite the other coast, but you're on the other side. What are some of your favorite sandwiches?
Okay, so I prepared for this. So I have a list of 3 that I think, and I will count them down from 3 to 1. Please let me finish before you comment on my sandwich choices. Number 3 is a simple ham and cheese with Swiss cheese on a Kaiser bun with Dijon mustard and garlic aioli. It's fantastic. You get the great bun that's nice and crispy on the top. It's nice and awesome and soft in the middle. And the Dijon mustard and the garlic aioli complement each other really well. My second favorite sandwich of all time is a Philly cheesesteak with no whiz, but with extra cheese on a foot-long hot dog bun. Fantastic. It's you cut the top, like they used to do with Subway, where you'd cut the top out and make a boat, stuff all that in there, and go in there. And my number 1 favorite sandwich of all time, it is the greatest comfort food of all. I love it. I'm sad that I don't get to eat them anymore. But grilled cheese with prosciutto on a sourdough bun or bread, thick sliced bread, with mozzarella and white cheddar cheese as the mixture. So that is those are my 3 favorite sandwiches. That is just my opinion, but I would say to anybody who is poo-pooing on my sandwiches, just go and try it. Just go and try one of them. I guarantee you'll be happy.
Well,
right.
I'm sorry, but this show is completely biased, and I had to talk about the worst sandwiches, and I didn't get to talk about the great sandwiches. So you know what? F this show.
All right, so I have a question for the panel. Sandy mentioned hot dogs, and I asked this on the chat. If you rotate a hot dog 90 degrees, is that a sandwich?
That is absolutely a sandwich. It's a piece of meat between 2 pieces of bread.
Yeah,
absolutely, it's a sandwich.
Thank you.
Or you can even
if
your bun if the bun isn't closed on the way, you can call it an open face sandwich. But Cody, what are some of your favorite sandwiches?
Oh, don't come back to me and belittle me now.
Can I add one?
No.
Oh yeah, Sandy, you can have one.
Sorry. It is actually my number 1 sandwich of all time, and I apologize that I completely forgot about this, but Brooklyn completely reminded me, and it just hit me like a bolt of lightning about an hour ago, and I stepped to my list and I forgot to add it on there. The best for its time, because it has to be. It's not 2 or 3 days afterwards, but the best sandwich is a open-faced turkey sandwich with stuffing and gravy, literally 3 hours after you finish dinner on Thanksgiving. You go to the fridge, you pull the turkey and the stuffing out, you throw it onto a bun, you take the gravy, you heat it up in the microwave, you slap it on there. My God, glorious. It's like sex on a bun. I'm telling you. So there.
Oh,
yeah, that's right. I said it.
Are you talking about Canadian or American Thanksgiving?
Canadian
Thanksgiving. It doesn't matter because all turkeys are the same. So whatever the turkey gets, I'll eat it. Yummy.
Cody, what are your favorite sandwiches?
I am a huge fan of the classic PB&J. It's just it's almost a snack. Cuban sandwich, I will fight to the death. I think that is by far the best sandwich, tied closely with a Philly cheesesteak. And I was in college once. I got sent home with leftovers, so I can definitely tell you that turkey and stuffing has been eaten in a college dorm, very drunk, and it was quite delightful.
Nice.
So I have my top 5 sandwiches of all time, but I do have 2 honorable mentions. My favorite vegetarian sandwich is a falafel. Cody, assuming Boston won. All right, so
we just tied it. Woo!
For the three people in the world that care about baseball now, Boston did something good.
We just tied the game.
Cool. So, as before you interrupted me, Cody, how rudely of you on my show. So my favorite vegetarian sandwich, but it doesn't crack my top 5, is the falafel. It's the falafel, pita, the hummus, tabbouleh, cucumbers, and lettuce. It's really tasty. Favorite vegetarian sandwich. But okay, so Abe, so falafel is like chickpeas.
No, I know what it is. It's Mediterranean. No, it's not Mediterranean.
Don't be rude to Abe.
No, I wasn't sure if you knew.
But I don't think of falafel as a sandwich. Like, isn't like pita bread? It's pita.
Yeah.
Well,
that's a wrap.
Yeah. Anyways, falafel, and then a honey garlic sausage with sauerkraut and Dijon mustard is another honorable mention. Sauerkraut is glorious. It's cabbagey and pickly and see, Cody agrees.
I don't think I agree with you. Sauerkraut's fantastic.
My number 5, and this is actually one of Nico's favorites, is a pulled pork sandwich. Pulled pork especially with an apple cabbage slaw, and if you get the pulled pork with a little bit of a spice on it, you get the nice spice, and then the brine comes in on a nice like brioche bun, super tasty. My number 4, and this is going to be really weird, but this has a nostalgic taste, and it's one that I still eat today, is a peanut butter and butter sandwich, but it has to be on homemade bread. It can't be on anything else. I would literally eat peanut butter and butter sandwiches for breakfast, like every day for like 10 years. For some reason, PB&J's weren't my thing, but peanut butter and butter were really tasty, and I'm sure I have some.
Peanut butter and cholesterol. Good lord!
Yeah, peanut butter.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Thank you for making the joke, so I didn't have to.
You're gonna go there. It's only okay if we do this. My number 3 sandwich is a beef dip. Beef dips are fucking glorious. Roast beef on a nice French baguette with some horseradish mayo, and then you dip it in the beef drippings.
Isn't that called a French dip?
A French dip or a beef dip. It's depending on where you go. It's different things. My number 2 sandwich, like Sandy mentioned earlier, is the roast chicken. I like throwing cranberry mayo on mine. You just mix cranberry sauce, a little bit of orange zest, and mayo. It's really tasty. Even cranberry sauce on its own is fine, but like as long as you have that chicken stuffing, a little bit of salt and pepper on some nice bread. And then my number 1 sandwich of all time, without question, I will argue it to the high heavens, is a smoked meat sandwich with Dijonnaise, which is a mixture of Dijon mustard and a little bit of mayo, pickles, and caraway rye bread. Caraway is a glorious spice that gives a nice, almost kind of earthy, as a very, it has some natural salt flavors about it, and then the rye, especially rye, is a more of a complex sweet. It doesn't get used a whole lot, but smoked meat is such a glorious thing. I used to live about a 5-minute drive away from the farmers market, and I would buy 2 pounds of smoked meat on Saturday, and it would be gone by Monday. It's phenomenal stuff.
Real quick, you having been in the restaurant business, you might be able to answer. Was it IHOP, the Waffle House, or some other place that had like a sandwich that was 2 waffles with chicken in between?
I think a lot of places do that.
Well, that's just commonly coming out now because chicken and waffles. A lot of places are doing that, but yeah.
Yeah, and like honey mustard and maple syrup are kind of the things that everybody throws on them. But yeah, I think this is now a good time to get into the debate. Malcolm is actually taking over because I am going to be competing. Sandy, I know you have to leave soon, but I think we'll get you to be a bystander for now. Maybe throw it. Maybe go to your judging decision if need be. But Malcolm, the floor is now yours.
Yeah. So I'll get each person pick a number from 1 to 4. Abe, pick a number from 1 to 4.
3.
Brooklyn,
Number 1.
Cody,
Am I in it?
Yeah.
I'm the second champ.
No, but because we only have 4 people. Because Sandy's sitting this one out, and then Malcolm is hosting, right? So it's
I have
Cody
to defend my title each round. Horseshit.
Yes.
I think it should be a triple threat, and you meet me. Rude, but okay. I'll go 2.
and Nico, you've got 4. And I've got a random number generator, and the one that came up was 3. And I decided to do something a little different. So I think Abe picked 3, was it?
Yes, I did.
Yep. So
I'm not
Abe,
sure what are we doing, but that's fine.
You can pick your first opponent. Do you want to go for Brooklyn, Cody, or Nico first?
I wanna go for Cody.
Cody, and then that means Brooklyn and Nico are facing off.
Oh no.
What a time to be alive.
And because Cody is the champ, Brooklyn and Nico are going first.
Thank you.
And your topic is, what is the best fictional sandwich from movie or TV?
The moist maker sandwich from Friends.
The chicken soup sandwich from Lilo and Stitch the series.
What the actual hell?
Yeah, that was exactly what I thought too. I mean, I'm surprised no one said the Krabby Patty, but never mind.
Ah, damn.
Because nobody knows the secret formula. Once you know the secret formula, then you can go on.
So because it was Brooklyn's birthday, he's going to start off the debate. And your 20 seconds begins when you start talking.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Take 3 panel, the moist maker from Friends is essentially a Thanksgiving sandwich with a layer of gooey bread-soaked gravy in the middle. It is called the moist maker for a reason. When you have the turkey and the stuffing and these other dry components, you need that gravy to hold everything together and create balance in the force.
And time. And Nico, your 20 seconds begins when you start talking.
The chicken soup sandwich from Lilo and Stitch the series, made by Experiment 625, aka Ruben. You don't actually know how the sandwich is made, but the sound of it, the idea of you eating chicken soup on a sandwich just sounds good in itself. Meanwhile, you actually have an actual recipe for his sandwich, and your taste buds might not like it. But here in Imagination Land, you can like
And
this.
that's time. And now, time for the 15-second rebuttal, starting with Brooklyn. The time begins when you start talking.
Nico said it himself. His sandwich doesn't taste good if you have taste buds. The chicken soup sandwich is by far way too wet. How are you going to hold that sandwich and eat it? No one needs a fork and a knife for a soup sandwich. The moist maker is the greatest because of its balance.
And time. And Nico, your time begins when you start talking.
The question was best fictional sandwich. Brooklyn's sandwich can actually be made. No one knows how my sandwich can be made. Therefore, it's perfectly fictional, whereas Brooklyn's can be made in real life.
You've got 5 seconds. Do you want to, is that all you're saying?
Yeah, this argument went in a weird way.
Yeah, so Nico went with the Chris Clark rule, finishing before time was up. I'm going to go to Abe first. Abe, what did you think of the debates, and who are you going to give the point to?
I think Brooklyn made better points about his food or sandwich in this case, so I'm giving the point to Brooklyn.
I'm going to go to Sandy next. Sandy, who are you going to give your point to?
So when I'm eating a sandwich, I don't want to imagine how it tastes. I want to know how it tastes. And Brooklyn did a really good job at the beginning and in his first thing, telling us about his sandwich. And then he followed up by telling us what was bad about Nico. So he hit every spot, not about Nico, but about Nico's choice for sandwich. So my point goes to Brooklyn because it does. I'd rather have the moist sandwich than a fake chicken soup sandwich that, like, I mean, you'd need like a hard bottom for the bowl and then a sandwich on top. It just doesn't make sense.
I tried to get creative.
I know.
And that means Brooklyn has won the first round. Cody, your vote wouldn't have mattered. What would you have said?
Well, it's going to come out in a nerdgasm match that helped fight with Caleb, but like Nico shot himself in the foot at the start. But like, don't really know how it's made, but it's good. And then Brooklyn kind of just devoured it. I just think it was poor choices on. I think Nico just jumped too fast on his choice, but yeah, Brooklyn would have got the point for me. Plus, I want to kick his ass. So.
Yeah, I definitely agree. There's like, I think as soon as I mentioned the Krabby Patty and Nico, I heard Nico say, "Oh, damn."
Although I will say that you both picked the wrong sandwich. It should have been the hero submarine from The Simpsons that Homer kept forever until it was green and flies and rotten, but he still ate that thing all the way down to the end. If you've never seen that episode, it's hilarious.
That would have got a no vote because it's rotten.
Now that I'm thinking about it, there was also the best burger from that one episode of How I Met Your Mother.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, for me, the first one I thought of is when I wrote that was the this submarine from Scooby Doo, the big ass one that Scooby and Shaggy made. But yeah, and I mean, I also think Nico shot himself in the foot in the rebuttal when he said that that Brooklyn's can actually be made, the one from Lilo Stitch can't, because a good idea for a fictional sandwich is one that you could make in real life, because a lot of people I've seen have tried making their own interpretations of various fictional sandwiches. So if you can make it in real life, so
there's a whole series on it called Binging with Babish, where he makes food from various TV and movies, and it's one of the best.
Yeah, what's that?
I tried to put it on semantics at the end, and apparently that can be reversed.
But anyway, it's down to Cody and Abe. It's turn to fight.
What is he doing? What is that in your hand?
So
calcium. The bottle of calcium pill.
So your topic, I'm going to bring up is what is the worst sauce to put in a sandwich?
Worst sauce?
Yeah.
Horseradish. Now, I have an argument with it. Calm down.
Fair shake.
What's the question?
Am I allowed to change it?
What is the worst sauce to put in a sandwich?
Am I allowed to swap it or no? I have one better one, but okay, that's fine.
Ketchup.
I would put the spit of an angry server.
Okay, we've got horseradish versus ketchup. I'm going to let the champ go first on this debate. Cody, your 20 seconds starts when you start talking.
Horseradish works really well in a meat sandwich, but if you throw that on any other sandwich, it overpowers the sandwich completely. Ketchup, if you mix it with other condiments, actually makes an okay balance, like with mustard or mayo. They actually have a good combo. But the worst sauce, if you threw horseradish with ketchup, all you would taste was horseradish. It's super overpowering if it's not just a solid red meat sandwich.
And Abe, your 20 seconds begins when you start talking.
Ready to lose. You know, ketchup is really wet, and something everybody hates about its sandwich is when the bread gets soggy. Mayo's real thicker, mustard is too, and ketchup really it doesn't work with a sandwich. When you think about a sandwich, you don't think sweet. You don't want a sweet sandwich, and that's what ketchup brings. When you want
And
to,
time. Just reset the timer to 15. And Cody, your 15-second rebuttal starts when you start talking.
Ketchup is a sweet sauce, but it could really balance out with a salty, like bacon or meat on the sandwich. Salty cured meats would work okay with a ketchup sandwich. Horseradish has that problem that it's very delicious, like on a prime rib or any like beef red meat sandwich. But if you throw that on any other vegetarian
And
sandwich,
time.
it will overbalance.
And Abe, your 15-second rebuttal starts when you start talking.
sometimes when you're drunk, you want a hard taste, and horseradish is what it brings to the beef. And beef is really salty. You want that power in, like, I don't know, like garlic or anything in your sandwich. So that's why horseradish is better than ketchup.
And
I've
finishing
never
right
tasted
on.
horseradish in my life.
I'm going to throw it over to Sandy to cast the first vote. Sandy, who are you going to give your vote to and why?
The only good sandwich that ketchup belongs on is
Stop the arguments. Don't bring your opinion into it.
I'm not. I'm just I'm just getting through it here. The better argument in this case was Cody. Like he really did say, I have, horseradish is only good on like red meat sandwiches, which I completely disagree with. But there's lots of things horseradish is good for. But Cody's argument was more cohesive towards the actual argument against ketchup. So I got to give my vote to Cody on this one. Even though
I'm going to throw it over to someone who knows about sandwiches. Brooklyn, who are you going to give your vote to and why?
My brief opinion is that ketchup is the worst condiment of all. Actually, as I was doing a little bit of prep into this, and I was like, if I'm getting that question, I'm saying ketchup. But Cody killed it in the rebuttal. I didn't hear anything from Abe regarding why horseradish is great, or why horseradish is better than ketchup. I didn't hear, because like what I wanted to hear from Abe is that ketchup is good on only one type of red meat, and that's ground beef. Because like it's not really good on it's not good on a steak sandwich. It's not good on a prime rib. It's not really good on anything, like maybe a chicken burger, and that's it. It's good for fries. That's all I needed for it. But Cody's argument was the better of the two.
I happen to agree with all of your points, guys. No, guys, I've never tasted horseradish, and I never seen one like a horseradish.
I was also going to argue, because the reason I didn't pick ketchup for the simple fact is ketchup is evolving and changing in the culinary words, where it's not just the sweet Heinz ketchup anymore. There are influences in ketchup now that make it actually a okay sauce. But if you're talking about Heinz 57, gross.
One thing, we have to say goodbye to Sandy. He has to leave us. Sandy, thanks for coming on today. Where can the cool kids of the world find you?
You guys can find me every Saturday on Take 3 with my new show with my partner Matt Kearns, Rhyme and Reason. It's fantastic, where we talk about everything you guys should like but don't. You can see me in Full Metal Media all over there, and on the interwebs, Facebook and Twitter at srobinson1799. Thanks so much. I had a great time today, guys. I'll see you guys next time.
All right. Cheers, Sandy.
And
To kind of sorry, one more thing to kind of sidetrack on that. Cody does have a point. One of the restaurants that I worked at during my internship, we had a big like 8-liter jug of ketchup base, and you could add that to anything. So for instance, like we had like a mango ketchup for our fish and chips. I believe we did like plum ketchup and like just different kinds. It's that vinegar pickly kind of this that you can apply to tomatoes, and then a little bit of sweetness that you get. But yeah, Cody's right. Ketchup is changing for sure.
Now, Nico, I know your vote wouldn't have mattered, but who would you have gone for anyway?
Now, having never had horseradish myself, Cody painted a good picture for me, both in his argument and in his rebuttal, as to why it was the worst out of it. I liked what Abe was saying in the first part of his argument. Then in his rebuttal, I'm not entirely sure what he was trying to say after
Me
that.
neither. I don't know what horseradish is. I see a recipe of Gordon Ramsay where they did bad with horseradish.
Horseradish is delicious. It's
It
overpowered.
is delicious.
I mean, I guess he's a friend of radish, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have sided with Cody simply because his argument was more fleshed out, and Abe in the second half, I'm not entirely sure what points he was making, or it sounded more like he was just taking words, throwing them out there, seeing if they stuck. Mostly how I argue, and it did not work out.
But that leaves us with Boy. Have we got a final match?
I ordered steak on restaurants.
But Boy, do we have a final match? We have got Brooklyn versus Cody. They can take out all their anger and frustration out on each other at an extended time that I'm going to give them because it's a pitching thing. So I'm going to give you 35 seconds for the main debate and 20 seconds for the rebuttal. And the topic is pitch the perfect sandwich, and you could go for a classic sandwich that's out there, or you can make up your own sandwich. So you've got all the world of the thing. So
can I offer one thing to Cody?
What?
Yeah.
You want to go, Cody? You want to go Cuban? I'll go smoked meat. We'll just duke it out like that.
Do what?
You want to argue Cuban sandwiches? I'll go smoked meat, and then we'll just go like that.
Yeah.
If you start.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that works. I'm
Okay.
okay with that. Do you want us to describe what our sandwich is on before we debate? So people know.
I
mean,
Or you want to use
it's
the
okay.
time to do that?
I mean, it's up to you guys. Do you want to describe it before you start the debate, or
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead, break down what yours is, and I'll
Yeah.
break down what mine is.
so I'll go.
So
What I was about to say before was that I was because Cody's a champion. I'm going to the challenger is going first, as it should be. So yeah, Brooklyn, describe your sandwich now.
So my sandwich is a smoked meat sandwich, sometimes referred to as a Reuben, depending on the ingredients that you have. So mine as a caraway rye bread. Then you have a lovely spread of Dijon mustard and mayonnaise. And then you have the smoked meat, generally a bigger portion, 4 ounces. You like your meat portions pretty thick. Then you have nice dill pickles, and optionally, I don't get it, but I know my wife loves it. A nice slice of Gruyere cheese. Gives it a nice creaminess and a nice stretch when you do that nice cross section.
And Cody, describe your sandwich.
I am fighting for the magnificent Cuban. Cuban is a roasted pork, normally a pork loin, put in the middle, with ham, Swiss cheese, mustard, a pickle, which is part of my argument, and pressed on French bread, pretty much. Now, if that's not the correct bread, I'm sorry, but that's what I eat it on.
It's not the correct bread. It's a Cuban bread.
Okay, Cuban bread, but
okay.
It's fantastic on any bread, and I will explain why. But it's pressed where it has the crisp of a crisp bread in between all that lovely stuff. Go ahead.
Right. Brooklyn, your 35 seconds starts.
One thing. Brooklyn said smoked meat, but he didn't say what type of meat.
Montreal smoked meat. It would be it'd be a chuck.
Okay.
Yeah, chuck.
Just wanted some clarification.
Yeah.
Your 35 seconds starts when you begin talking.
Gentlemen of take 3, the Montreal smoked meat sandwich is a classic combination of brightiness, sharpness. You get a nice little bit of spice from the Montreal smoky that the spices that they provide. You get the nice creaminess from that Gruyere cheese. It has a nice stretch when you get cross section, and then you get a little bit of the fat from the mayonnaise, all held between what my favorite bread in the world, caraway rye. The caraway gives a nice mellow spice that kind of blends everything together.
And
by itself.
Cody, your 35 seconds starts when you begin talking.
The reason why I like a Cuban sandwich so much is because all the flavors balance together and make a perfect bite when you bite it. Even the vinegar of the pickle with the mustard with the two meats, it is this perfect balance inside your mouth. The problem with Brooklyn sandwiches, he just picked rye bread, and if you had rye bread, it's a very unique taste. You either like it or love it. Also mixed with mayo and mustard and Gruyere cheese. Those are a bunch of different flavors. If you're not a fan of it, it's not your favorite sandwich, but this works in a cohesive unit. Pig, onion, mustard, beautiful bread smashed together with a good crunch. His sandwich is not good.
And I'll just set my time at 20 seconds. And Brooklyn, your 20-second rebuttal starts when you begin talking.
Okay. 3 things. 1, yours is the poor man's version of a smoked meat sandwich. Second of all, you don't even know the bread that's supposed to be for your Cuban sandwich. Cuban bread, a flakier version of a French baguette. Thirdly, yours relies on 2 different meats. You rely on the pork shoulder and the cured ham to accomplish the same thing that one smoked meat product already does. Smoked meat has that nice tenderness.
And Cody, your 20 seconds starts when you begin talking.
Brooklyn, you must be out of your damn mind. Let me tell you right now, your sandwich, the bread will not hold up with the amount of meat you have, plus mixed with the sauces. Plus, the bread is I'm not a fan of rye bread. It's the same thing in a Reuben. It's too bitter. It's not a good tasting bread. Mine works cohesively. The ham and pork work perfectly fine with the mustard and Swiss cheese to make an ooey gooey, delicious sandwich. What everybody wants. Nobody really wants it. Ooh, we go for 40 minutes.
I could have kept going there.
Oh, so we've heard the arguments. I'm going to throw it over to Abe first. Abe, who are you going to give your point to and why?
Look, I think both of those answers are wrong because the best thing is what I described earlier, torta of chilaquil.
I actually should have picked his. If I had it, I would have picked it because I'm looking on how to order.
I think Cody described his sandwich of how those flavors work. But Brooklyn was able to take it down with pointing out the flaws of Cody's description of the Cuban sandwich. So that's why I'm giving it to Brooklyn.
Sorry, I'm not an expert on what it is. I'm not a chef. I never claimed to be.
I'm going to throw it over to Nico. Nico, who are you going to give your point to?
I'm struggling to figure out how I should judge this because they both make good points as to why they feel they like the sandwiches they like. As for their ability to take the sandwich down, Brooklyn tried to attack the fact that Cody didn't know what bread the Cuban sandwich is supposed to be on, but Cody also had a nice little thing right before the arguments officially started where he said it can work on any bread. It's that good of a sandwich. So I don't know if I should count that or not. But Brooklyn also had a good takedown where he said that the Cuban sandwich was the poor man's version of his Reuben. So I'm I'm struggling here. I'm struggling because can you guys just make me sandwiches and then whoever made it the best wins?
The same thing with this argument. It's completely favored in Brooklyn's category. I will just gladly tell you that he's a chef. I'm not.
Can you come back to me?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it goes to me to do the point, and I'm in the same boat here. It's really hard because it's so close. I mean, it may be favoured in Brooklyn's category, but Cody put up a really good argument, and it's just so close. I think I'm probably going to give it to Cody just by the smallest margin, because I think he argued about like the distaste that rye bread can be, and there seemed to be a lot of a point that he brought up a couple of times, but it's just one of those ones which it was a really good attack on to Brooklyn. But anyway, I'm going to throw it back to Nico. You're the deciding vote now.
I have a unique request. Can we give them 20 more seconds to lay out an argument?
Can I frame him? I don't think that will be fair for the vote of Malcolm and I. Think that could change your vote. That wouldn't be fair for them. And
I would also say no.
Yeah,
I could go on and on, but it's not fair to Malcolm and Dave.
This is hard here.
I would do any mini money more if you have to.
That's not fair either, because
this thing about a Cuban missile.
I'll be give you a 5 count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Cody.
Just say it. And your winner, and somehow taking down the Sandwich King, is Cody Newberry. Cody, how do you feel?
Again, I always find it interesting, and this takes nothing away from Brooklyn. Brooklyn, of everybody that I've battled on here, gave me the best fight.
Not me.
When they say that you took me down on mine, like I used my first half, like half and half, tearing down your sandwich, and that was completely ignored. It's not a big deal, but I honestly think with that last, your poor man's and what was the other one? You pulled something else on me. It was
that the Cuban sandwich requires 2 meats to be good, whereas mine is just the one.
Well, I disagree, but that makes it fantastic. But yeah, it's a tough. I think if Brooklyn lost on a movie or a TV question, he would have been fine. But since he lost on sandwich, this is about the biggest chink in the armor, which makes me so happy because you, Brooklyn. No, I'm just kidding. I love Brooklyn.
Can I make an announcement?
Yeah.
We're gonna have a cooking show with Take 3 named Brooklyn It's Mad. Brooklyn, would you like to make a cooking show in Take 3?
Sure.
We're having a cooking show in Take 3 coming next week.
I could actually probably do that. I think I might be able to do that in my kitchen.
Okay,
next week, Abe promises things.
If you can, I'll teach people how to do a cereal.
I suppose I'm going to throw the show back to Brooklyn. Brooklyn, you can take your show back.
The one thing that I thought my rebuttals were a lot better than Cody's because Cody was just going off of my bread, whereas I tackled his entire sandwich and like with the poor man's
I tackled a little bit more of your sandwich.
I know, but when I said your, because you went on about how my flavors are too complex. When I said that yours is the poor man's of the smoked meat, because you're essentially the same thing. You have meat, pickles, mustard, cheese. That's what I was. That's what I was.
You know what it sounds like? like
What?
every other opponent I have kicked the crap out of. Thank you very much. The champion apologizes for nothing.
The one thing that I do wish that I was able to fit in there, and had we gotten the next 20 seconds, what I would have said is, if you're making the Cuban from scratch and the smoked meat from scratch, you're finishing the smoked meat about a day earlier. The Cuban from scratch takes forever. It takes at least 4 or 5 days after you do the double cure marinating process of the pork shoulder, and then the ham itself takes at least 4 days. So yeah, mine's easier to make from scratch.
Now, hey, Malcolm didn't do this, but could you announce it? Could you announce what champion I am?
And your winner and defending late night with Take 3 mini speed round debate champion of the Worldwide Movie Game Center Association of America, undefeated Cody Newberry.
I'll just point out, why is it the Worldwide Association of America? Like,
you don't need to ask questions about my title belt unless you hold it. Thank you.
I'm sure Cody doesn't have pants right now.
Well, well, guys, that is going to be our show. I do want to thank all of our panel for coming on today. I'm going to go first to our winner and defending undefeated champion, Cody Newberry. Where can the cool kids of the world find you?
My title reign will end soon because I'm pissing off all the people that are judges. But I am the 4-time defending champ right now. I am undefeated. I've held 2 different belts, the interim and the real. But yeah, you can find me at Cody Newberry on Facebook. You can find me over at Full Metal. You can find me on Wednesdays for Watch Along. We are watching Superbad next week, so I'm so excited for that one. The youngest guy in our hosts, me, Linus, and Robert, picked Superbad, which I find hilarious. You can also find me here on Thursdays, defending my championship until the end of time, until I retire. And you can find me sometimes on Rankum when Malcolm needs a very, very angry person to appear.
All right. To the holder of, or to the host, I guess, of the debate portion of tonight, the news finder and producer Malcolm Goldilay. Where can the cool kids of the world find you?
You can find me on Take 3, where I host a show called Rankum, and me, Brooklyn, and a few other people are going to be talking Simpsons characters on the next episode that's coming up on Monday my time, but yeah. You can find me competing in movie trivia all over the place on Multiplex and Worldwide Movie Games. You can also find me and Cody facing Brooklyn and Harley Burke for the Schmodown Trivia Schmodown teams match, which goes up next week. And you can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Stardust at Melkor.
To the gentleman making his return, fellow Take 3 member Abe Flores. Abe, where can the cool kids in the world find you?
You can find me. Please don't know me on Facebook if I don't know you. But you can find me on Twitter at AbrahamF25. I'm a career panelist and Gone with the Wind with Take 3, where Manning, Malcolm, and I discuss award races. Also, you can find me on the newest show of Take 3, Brooklyn's Math, where we teach people how to cook cereal. Next. Did we say something?
I'm not sure. We'll figure it a day. I'll probably make stew. Alrighty. So, Nico, where can the cool kids of the world find you? And I do ask, just kind of keep it concise.
You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube at Nico Suave Regoli. That's NicoSuaveRegoli. You can find me at Multiplex Entertainment. That's the name of the Facebook group and the YouTube channel. The Twitter is at MultiplexYT. The Instagram is Multiplex Entertainment Network. The TeePublic is Multiplex. I had a match on Tuesday, which I won, and I have another match tomorrow against Sandy Robinson, who was here earlier. You can watch that there. Myself and Hunter Champ have a new wrestling podcast called The Week of Wrestling. You can find that every Saturday. Our second episode will be shot on Saturday this week. And I know this show makes me look like an idiot, not a lot, but I swear to you, I'm not.
And time. All right, we're getting there. We're slightly improving. You can find me right here at Take Two Productions, running not one but two shows. Mondays you can find me on Jukebox Trivia, doing various trivia, debates, and music. Unless it was last Wednesday where you saw Cody harass me to take over my show. You can also find me right here on Take 3 on Thursdays. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe on this video. If you think that you could take on Cody, by all means, shoot me up, and we'll consider your spot on the panel if we deem you worthy. Be sure to check out all the various leagues, the Run Over the Games Network Multiplex. Check out the Schmodown Facebook page if you're not already there. How are you a fan of this and not the Schmodown? And for those fans of the Schmodown, by all means, go check out their Patreon. They're needing some help, so every dollar counts. www.patreon.com/Schmodown. Once again, guys, that is Abe, that is Cody, that is Nico, that is Malcolm, that is myself. Cheers, guys, and as always, drive safely.
Drive on